Hey everybody, welcome to Hangouts with Jules. I am so happy you're here. It's great. We're going to be going through the whole profile now, everything besides food, and you're going to get to have the experience of learning all of these amazing things that are going on in your PH360 profile that you didn't even know was there. And so that's what we're going to be looking at today. I am going to be working with different people today, and I'm starting with Angela's. And I would love to have a few more people who send me their uh, username and password to my support at ph360.me. Okay, so well, let's get started here. All right. We've got Angela's up and running, and we went through food last time. So if you missed the food video, the food hangout, you want to go back and listen to number 3. And it's not posted yet, but it will be soon. So that'll be the one that you'd want to listen to for food. And so let's dive in. Let's see, where do I want to start with this one? Okay, well, let's start with fitness because fitness is a great area that is really important for people. And let's talk about Angela's fitness. So we click here, and in order to get to the fitness area, there are 3 areas in fitness. There's strength, flexibility, and cardio. And you just click on one here. And then you can go down here and, I don't know Angela, but let's just say that maybe Angela's a real stud muffin. And so we're going to put her up here to vigorous, and her skill level might be an intermediate. And let's just say she wanted a full body workout. And so we can move these around at different speeds here, depending on your abilities and your skill. And then you can go down here, you can do upper body, lower body, or full body. And there's also the option of no equipment, portable equipment, or gym session. And so you guys out there who have been waiting to do your exercise, there's no excuses because you can do exercise with PH360 with no equipment. And so definitely be sure to get that. Now, just for fun, before we create our personalized workout, let's look at our fitness plan just to get a general overall idea of what fitness is going to be best for Angela. And we are clicking on that. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay, so now this is just for Angela, right? And everybody has a different display my fitness plan. These are completely different. If you had a best friend who had PH360, their fitness plan would be different than yours. And so here you go. So Angela's got activity for circulation, some light aerobic physical exercise at least 3 times per week will help her tone her cardiac muscle and activate blood circulation. So you can see that Angela's body has told PH360, hey, I need these things. I need to, get my cardiac going, and I need to get my blood circulating, and that it's possible that her body might tend toward having toxins or maybe just need to rejuvenate at this time. And so that's why this is really important. And that it's really important for Angela that her tissues would be oxygenated. That means that her body needs more oxygen, and the way to get that would be to do these sorts of activities. And her joint movement may stimulate lymphatic circulation through a pumping effect. And this may minimize the accumulation of toxins and deposits of fat, cellulite, and vascular plaque. Hey, who wouldn't want that? That's awesome. Okay, so Angela, just even this one paragraph, you guys, and you guys all have these. You just need to look in there and find them. When you go to display my fitness plan, you can see here that she needs in kind of a pumping effect to occur. And so that would be light aerobic physical exercise 3 times a week. So that is going to help her reduce deposits of fat if she has any, or cellulite, or any kind of plaques that might be in her heart system, in the veins and the arteries in the heart. And so then the next one says, if I notice swelling or increased fluid retention at the end of my training may indicate I am training too much or too often. So that's something you can watch out for, Angela. Like if you notice that you are starting to swell all the time and all that sort of a thing, you will want to just cut back a little bit. And you may just have to cut back for a little while, because as your body gets used to the exercise, if it's not already, then it's going to really help to really get it going. As a result, I may have increased levels of cortisol and prolactin, leading to an increase in fluid retention. Okay, so just her body, this is the way it works. And so this may be something that happens with Angela, that she would retain fluids and that she might have increased levels of cortisol and prolactin. And so doing this activity is going to help to begin to get that pumping effect going, getting her lymphatic circulation going. I don't know if you guys know much about the lymphatic system, but it's amazing. Another great exercise for lymphatic area would be a rebounder. It's like a little mini trampoline. You just jump up and down on it, and it gets your whole lymphatic system going. So if you are a person who can't exercise very much, or say, oh, I can't do that, then you would maybe get a rebounder and you just bounce on it. Even if you're not jumping on it, but you're simply just letting it bounce you, that's good for you. So this would be, let's see, okay, and then I may enjoy the rhythm of training and resting. Therefore, weight training may be good for me, and I can do a set, take a small rest, and then continue. Awesome. That's what we're going to do next. And I might benefit from low to medium intensity interval training. And then that would be in the same vein, that she wouldn't be going to like one of those crazy boot camps where they're like, you know, down for 50 or that sort of thing. She would be more into a easygoing interval training that she's getting to work out and getting to get her system moving. Prolonged aerobic exercise may be most difficult and boring for me, but this could be very efficient in helping me reach my fitness goals. All right, so Angela, let's start. Let's just get going on this, and then we move from there and we get going more and more and more. And pretty soon you'll be able to do this and we'll be achieving your fitness goals. Okay, so it says here workout tip. You can see that my body profile may have strength and stability, but may lack agility. So helpful to practice physical activities on a regular basis like agility training, stretching to eliminate muscular congestion, and activities that push my aerobic threshold. These may eliminate the water and fat that tend to accumulate in my body and may even provide me with better peripheral circulation. Wow, now this could be really cool. And let's just note, just next down, it says attention to joints. So, you know, running, jumping, that's not going to be the one for Angela, because this is not going to be the kind of activity that's going to be best for her. So she's going to be more of a swimming or cycling, not so much running or, you know, like playing tennis, that sort of thing probably isn't the very best exercise for her. Something that uses long movements, you know, the water, the cycling, that sort of thing. Now, in looking at what that would be in the big picture, we would also check her place to kind of see what sort of environment is best for her in general. So if a person who is in a very hot environment were asked to cycle and swim, well, then choosing swimming might be better, because then they would be cooling off in a pool versus being, you know, completely, you know, breaking down everything, cycling. Okay, so let's see, activity for the back. Let's read that second. So let's go back to this resistance activity. You can see that she's going to be doing, you know, short movements that are going to be easy to do, not like long and graceful so much, but just some short movements. And so when we go back up to the workout, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. And we will go back to the workout we were creating in the beginning. Okay, great. So activity for the back. The spinal pain often stems from a muscular origin. Okay, so Angela, if you're having pain in your back, it could be because your muscles are tight. So toning of the spinal muscles, and those are the muscles that surround the backbone, the spine, may help prevent and reduce chronic muscle pain and maintain the structural balance of my spine. The abdominal and lumbar muscles play a fundamental role in balancing and supporting the spine. Awesome. Wow, is that so cool to know? Toned yet flexible musculature is therefore an important element in avoiding disorders, in inducing problems of posture and nervous. Okay, that's great. And strengthening her core, sculpting her legs will reinforce her knees and tendons. Isometric exercises of the upper thigh and hamstrings may help with this. And exercising in some sort of heat may have a toll in her ability to recuperate, causing muscle fatigue and deposits of lactic acid. So just what we were saying earlier, it might be better for her if she's exercising indoors when it's really hot outside. Massage and stretching of the neck due to possible tension of the trapezius muscles. Those are those little crazy, possibly hardened muscles when you reach your hands up and like massage right on the sides of your neck. That's a trapezius muscle. And it even helps her brain. Now, you guys get this. Angela, when you massage your trapeze muscles, so you just reach up, like reach both arms up and just massage your little shoulders right there. It's in between your shoulders and your neck. You are getting to that. You're going to actually be activating your brain, for gosh sakes. So if you're at work and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't think another thing, or you're having what you consider to be brain fog, or you're just like forgetting things, or you just can't think about another thing, just reach up and massage those muscles for you. That's really going to make a difference. And you should do that at least once a day. And it may be ideal to do this during the evening as a release from the day's postural tensions. Now, what would be really cool is if you could get someone else to do it. Now, come on, tell me that's not amazing. But if nobody will, or there's nobody there to do it, there's no reason why you can't do it for yourself. You just reach your arms up. I wish I could show you a picture right now. Reach your arms up and just feel those little muscles. If they're really tight, then you just want to give them a good squeeze and keep squeezing. That'll be amazing for you. All right, so let's go see what PH360 is coming up with for Angela's workout. Now, just to reiterate, now that we have actually read what her fitness plan is, we know we're not going to go vigorous here. We're going to go all the way down to this light. Let's just hit it on light, just for fun. And let's just say Angela is between a beginner and an intermediate here. And we want to do a full body because that's what she wants to do. Let's just say she doesn't have any equipment at her house. So we're going to do the no equipment workout because we want her to get started right away. If you guys have not incorporated your PH360 exercise yet, this is a vital part of your fitness, of your life, of your breath, of how you're living in the world, even how your relationships are. Because when you do the exercise that's just right for your body, you are going to be incurring all sorts of amazing new levels of energy and of vitality and of really being available for the people that you love, because those little endorphins are going to get released in your body. And each body has its own way of releasing those endorphins. So for Angela, this is the way. All right, so we're going to go now to create my personalized workout. All right, so let's just say, okay, so now we're looking at these, the lower body. It's given her some exercises to get the lymphatics pumping. That would be this squat exercise. You can see when you open it up here. Well, now let's just say Angela's very beginning and she says, whoa, I can't do that. Well, that's no big deal because all you have to do is just trade it out and move it until you get something that would be available for you. Oh, that one didn't have the picture. Let's see. Oh, simple leg squat. Let's see. Okay, so now Angela may not be able to get all the way down initially, but she can go as far as she can. And it's just like you're sitting on a chair. And let's just say worst case scenario, just put both your feet down and do a squat as if you were sitting in a chair and then stand up again, okay? And you can pretty much change these out a lot. And let's just say she Okay, let's go to the next exercise. Got that. And she's going to do a yoga bridge pose. Wow, this is going to be amazing for her back muscles. Okay, so when you do this one, Angela, you're going to tighten up your core and you're going to be exercising all those spinal muscles we talked about earlier when you hold this pose. And again, maybe initially you won't get it up as high as you want it to. That's okay. Just do the best you can. All right. You can see she's going to do a hip extension. This is another one that's going to be exercising her legs, getting everything pumping, putting the spinal muscles into play, getting her core. And while you're doing these sorts of exercises, be sure and tighten up your glutes at the same time, just to get that little extra push on your bum. You know, it's always a good thing to tighten up the bum whenever you're lifting. So feel free to do that. And you're going to do wow, this is such an amazing exercise. This does a little twist, and you can't see the full picture here, but the explanation here is awesome, so you'll be fine here. And that'll be a great one for you. And you can see they incorporated some yoga into hers. Well, that would be crazy now. Like, I can't even do that one. Holy moly. Let's change. Oh, there isn't another one for that one. Well, Angela, you might be better than me. Maybe you can get that one done. But if not, I think we could go ahead and do without that one. And you've got some thigh, you've got some upper body. You know, they just kind of gave you a lot of different exercises. And the way that I would look at these is I would be doing, you know, just nice and slow. You don't have to do like really hardcore. You can just go through and do as many reps as you can. In just sets, like do a few reps. If you can only do 8 in the beginning, do 8. If you can only do 4, do 4. If you can do 15, great. And so that's how you would be doing your workout. And you can see they put a lot of variety into Angela's because she needs variety in what she's doing or she gets bored. So that's why there's so much variety. Now, let's go up top again. And we'll just check out some cardio for Angela. And again, we're going to drop the intensity down. We're going to put the skill level down to the medium here. Whoops. And we're going to say, well, what if she only had 30 minutes? And let's just see what happens. Okay, so if we wanted to do equipment classes, or let's say let's do a class just to see how that goes. Okay. Oh, so there aren't any classes really that would be good for what Angela's doing. Let's see here. Equipment, run, walk, create my personalized workout. Okay, so you can see here that for Angela, jogging continuously would be great. So she's just going to jog about 30 minutes, which would be about 2.6 miles. And jogging at a moderate pace, no big deal. And here's another way she could do it, which is really awesome for doing something like this. And you know, this is like super easy jogging. This isn't like trying to run, and this might even be on grass, or it might even be on, depending on where you live, it could be on sand, or it could be on maybe some dirt, that sort of thing, which would be really nice. And you know, you can take little intervals on that also. But running and jogging is not Angela's primary goal. She could also be swimming continuously. She could be going back and forth in the pool for 30 minutes, you know, just swimming, really easygoing swimming, that sort of thing. All right, Angela, let's see, flexibility. Let's see what we got here. Okay, let's go with what it's got and we'll just check it out. Okay, so for flexibility, it's giving you some stretches that would be amazing for you. So you could stand with your arm against a door frame and stretch out your chest. That'd be really great. And you can see just all of these are itemized for you. It makes it so easy. So you could be anywhere and access this. You could be at work. You could be out at the park. You could be at the beach. You could be in your home. Wherever you are, you could even be traveling in your hotel room and access a workout for you to do right now. All you have to do is just log into your PH360 at app.ph360.me, click on fitness, and it will create a workout for you right now. That's all you have to do. It's so simple and easy. All right. So that's awesome. So I'm going to take a look now just for fun. I'm going to take a look at the board and see if there's any questions about what we just talked about. If any of you guys are wondering, let's see, if you X out one of the exercises by mistake, how can you get them back? So far, I haven't really seen that you can necessarily get them back. You would want to log out, like, go out and then come back in again. It doesn't necessarily just bring it back if you exit out. So you can do that, Gina. That's great. And Elise said, I look at the exercise program and saw no information on time. Just to consult a doctor, is that normal? Yes, Elise, we actually don't have the timing set in there currently, and it suggests consulting a doctor because that would be in your, in the big scheme of things. Then you may want to, you would want to make sure that everything was going to be safe for you. And so, and the other thing you can do, consulting a doctor is one way. The other way is that you just trust your body and that you think about the time it would feel the best for you. Some people's PH360 says a certain time. And so when it says a certain time to exercise, you want to follow that. And that could be in your power hour, or it could be in your fitness area. So if it says a specific time, then follow that. But if it doesn't say a specific time, then really it's up to you. All right? Awesome. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do Elizabeth next for the next section. So thanks so much, Angela, for letting us use your profile to learn all about fitness. That was awesome. And let me see. Whoops, I'm not going to do that. And then I am going to get, let's see, I've got to get the password here. Hopefully it's correct, you guys. And thank you, Elizabeth, for letting us look at yours. Woohoo, we're in. Okay, so, well, let's just head on down the line. We'll just go to place next. And place is, of course, one of my favorite areas to look at. I just love it. Okay, so we're going to look at Elizabeth's place. We're going to see the best environments for Elizabeth. We're going to see what wouldn't be a great idea for Elizabeth. And we're also going to be looking at where to vacation, what are her best climates, and her power hour. So we will go through all that. Now, in Elizabeth's case, the reason why we're doing this particular hangout is because we want to get, you guys, we're also focused on the food right now, but the reality is that all of this is so important for you. PH360 is based in epigenetics, and epigenetics is not food, it's everything. It's your environment, it's the people you hang around with, it's what you do with your talents in the world, and it includes your food too. It's how your mind works and your fitness levels. And so that's what we want to focus on now, is like, okay, so we've all got this food thing going, but let's get into the other areas and let's figure out how to incorporate them into our life. Okay, great. So Elizabeth, wow, you've got a lot of place areas. I've never seen so many. This is amazing. Okay, so you just click here for read more. So this says that for Elizabeth, she prefers a place where she can feel free and not constrained by small rooms and too many walls. So if she were living in a little boxed up cookie cutter place, that would be something that would be creating stress in her body, literally. So she needs to have big open windows and or tall ceilings, just a feeling of spaciousness where her body feels like it can relax. And so that's really important for her. And here in the people, let's see what it says there. More important than the home itself may be the people around me. I may need to be intellectually stimulated and allowed to retreat from my personal studies or reflections. Okay, so this is critical for Elizabeth, that her home itself, it doesn't mean she must be surrounded by people. What it means is that in her home, the people that are in her home are part of her health. If she has people that create stress for her, or that are creating some sort of something that she perceives as negative, that could be a real impact on her health and her body. And so it's really important that the people that she's around give her some space and time to be herself, and that they like to enjoy some stimulating conversation too, so that when they're maybe sitting down to eat, or they're sitting in the gazing out the window, or maybe on the deck, that they would be, enjoying this stimulating conversation, something that's interesting about the day, about the world, and about what's going on in life. And so if she didn't have anyone living with her, then what this would mean is that she would be inviting people over who she feels intellectually stimulated by. And that would be something that would be vital for her, so that she can have her alone time, and her place where she can go to retreat or have her space, and that she also has people around her that are intellectually stimulating. This next one, of course, is one of my favorites: travel. And so this says that she'd enjoy change and travel, that she might appreciate exposure to different environments, and may enjoy exploring cultures and different behaviors, and might enjoy being immersed in a variety of different stimuli, possibly with a bit of adventure, and may generally find normal life quite boring and need to stir it up every once in a while and have a feeling of challenge and aliveness. Now, there is not just one travel suggestion. There are different travel suggestions. And this particular one means that she likes to go changing. She likes to go out and experience a culture, that she might be someone who would, maybe travel to India, or that. And let's just say, wait, let me go back when I'm saying this. Elizabeth, maybe currently you're not traveling to India, or maybe you think like, whoa, India sounds crazy, or whatever. Let's just say you're a person who has this and you think that sounds like lunaticer, because you can't even imagine going and traveling like this. So your body is telling you that it would love this. And so how could you experiment with this? Well, you could start doing some things that were creating variety in your life and a sense of adventure around where you live. Start there, but start. Don't let this one go, because your body thrives when it's exposed to different environments and exploring all sorts of cultures and people of different sorts, people who have different lives than you have. And this can be really amazing for your body. It's going to become alive, and it's going to be experiencing more aliveness when you really give it this. All right, so that's awesome. Oh, I love this one too. Okay, so cozy. So Elizabeth's house would maybe have this warm look and this feeling in the living area where it would really feel like nature existed in her home. I call it outside in and inside out. So maybe wood, stone, plants, this could be really beneficial for her to have this touch of nature. So for instance, if she didn't have this going right now, maybe she's living somewhere where she doesn't have a lot of control of her environment, or even working. You guys, this applies to where you work too. So maybe she's got, living somewhere where she doesn't have much control. And so now she would bring in some wood, some stone, and some plants. So on a desk, you could bring in a nice big plant for your work area. You could bring in like a little bowl of stones that you've collected from your travels. I have all these stones in a bowl that you can even write on them: Bali, India, these sorts of things. So you can remember where they came from. It's really fun to do that. And you can, and creating a warm look involves colors and lighting. Can you see in this picture? It's kind of a great description of, creating some soft offset lighting, kind of getting like maybe in her, like if she had the blue, what are those called? The overhead lights, the artificial lights, that are overhead. And if she had those, then what she could do is like bring in a lamp and just really cozy up her little space at her work. Or if she were at her home, then she could incorporate more of this warm look. That would be really fun for her. Next one is change. Chaos may not worry me, and I might welcome change. And I may not need routines, because I may adapt and improvise well. Now, this is a kind of a one where sometimes people come to this and they're like, that's not me. Well, here's what I would invite you to do. I would invite you to like sit with this, like maybe take it on a little and see, like maybe somewhere along the line you learned to be a certain way based on your childhood, based on, how you grew up, based on the people that you married, based on your children, based on the whole thing. And so, now you have this opportunity to like try on what's natural for you. So if you have been a person who hasn't welcomed change, try incorporating some change and just see how it goes. It's really fascinating to see how your body responds when you give it what it actually is intended to do, intended to be, intended to experience. That's when you're going to see major changes in your body, in your energy, and in your life. So achievement here. I may value results and goal achievement and may be able to adapt my environment to these ideals. Okay, so this is a fun one, and some people are like, what the heck does that mean? Well, if you were a person who valued results and goal achievement, how could you adapt that to your environment? I mean, that could be in a multitude of ways. I mean, you might create like little projects around the house, and that create more of, like, you could use this one, even incorporating these changes into your life. You could set a goal, and then you could give yourself a reward. I mean, this would be a person who loves rewards. Wouldn't that be awesome? And so those are the ways that you could incorporate that achievement into your life, Elizabeth. And here, this is practical. I may need a workspace and home environment that is practical, cozy, and allows me to have freedom to freedom of action. So she's got things organized, and it makes sense where everything is. It's not complicated. And that would be really wonderful for her. So if your current environment, Elizabeth, were complicated, or you couldn't find things, or it didn't feel like, you didn't have it set up where you could just cozy up on the couch and just really allow yourself that freedom to just cozy up on the couch and look out of your big window and experience that nature feeling inside and out, then that would be something that you'd really want to incorporate into your life. Okay. All right. So now let's go down to places to avoid. I really want to let everybody know that this does not mean you cannot ever take public transport. The reason this is here is because every body has certain times of the year when they are susceptible, or their immune systems are a little low, and they might be susceptible to some germs more than normal. And that's what this one is. I think almost everybody has public transport. And so transportation for Elizabeth is November and December. During those 2 months, if she were to do a lot of public transportation, that would be a time she'd want to take more precautions while she's traveling. And the rest of the time, and you can still do it, it just means you're taking precautions because your system is a little more sensitive during that particular time. This is another one, cold winds. So Elizabeth is particularly sensitive to windy climates. Wind creates negative ions, and an excess of them, such as a windy mountain area or on the coast, when the Oregon coast just has this crazy wind blowing all the time, or if you're in close proximity to waterfalls or large pine forests, all of these situations can create an activation of your thyroid. And I mean, that's something that, who would know that? I mean, this is sharing with you that that's what's happening when you get this wind. You might be a person who's easily affected by altitude sickness. So if you don't feel that good when you're going to the mountains, there's a really good reason. And so diets high in carbohydrates may provide momentary symptomatic relief, as carbohydrates may ensure a greater supply of energy and oxygen than most other foods. And the symptoms that you might encounter include headaches, irritability, thyroid hyperfunction. That means the thyroid's really working overtime when that's happening. And if it's really excessive, which can happen for any of you who have found your virtual coach, on your main dashboard page, you see the orange bar. And in that orange bar, there's a button for My Virtual Coach. And in there, you can find Diana, who's giving you all sorts of coaching lessons in just going through the entire PH360 with you. She experienced this one where she's completely impacted by, she was living in a high altitude place and she was getting headaches. She was having nausea, vomiting. She was having digestive orders. And she was basically just sick all the time. And she had no idea it was her environment and the altitude until she saw this. And once she got out of the altitude, out of the forest, and was down in a lower elevation, she just totally came back. And you can see in the videos that she's just beautiful. And so, be sure and check out Diana's My Virtual Coach if you have not already checked that out. So this person would enjoy spending time in hot, dry climates. They might be sensitive to windy climates or flow of air conditioning. Maybe air conditioning isn't best for you, Elizabeth. So when you're getting into air conditioned rooms, you'd want to just, make sure that you're opening windows instead as long as you can, and making sure that you're not, the air conditioning isn't blowing on you, that sort of thing. And you may benefit from avoiding exposure to cold winds during the winter, or a direct breeze. I think we've really nailed this one. I mean, we're pretty much just saying the same thing over and over. Wind is probably not the best thing for Elizabeth. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Oh, here, now, how's that? Here's the artificial lights. We talked about that just a moment ago. These artificial design elements, metal, glass, and lack of color will not make her feel well in the long run. And you can see here that white light, that kind of bluish light, that's not going to make her feel good. It's going to be Elizabeth, if she were in an environment where she was with this every single day and didn't break this up, it would basically start stressing her body. In fact, she might not even realize it was stressing her body, and her body would begin creating this inflammation inside of it as it's becoming more and more stressed. And so this is a great way to alleviate that. Now, let's see. I may not enjoy my neighbors telling me I cannot listen to my music or have a party or do what I want in my own space. I may have a hard time walking on eggshells because of those who live nearby. Well, in another way said, Elizabeth, you're the kind of person that likes to do what you like to do, and you don't want people nosing in or being part of telling you what to do. And I would imagine you probably respect them also. And so what this would mean is that you'd want to make sure that you're not in that environment. If you are in an environment where you have to walk around on eggshells for a person that's in your environment or for people that live next door, you would consider even possibly moving, because that would be very stressful for your body. And again, you guys, it doesn't hold up a sign or turn on something that says, hey, that's bothering me. The bothering starts little and gets bigger. And so sometimes you could have this full-blown uh, condition going on in your body that you don't even realize is part of your environment and what's in your environment. So environment is super important. All right, this is a really fun one, you guys. Elizabeth, so the best time for you to vacation is during the 4th week of March. And again, this, it's possible this could change a little bit as you go through PH360 and as your body's adjusting and getting into its true natural place. Because as you do PH360, your body is going to adjust. It doesn't just adjust in pounds, though you may lose some weight or you may gain some weight. Some people need to gain weight in order to be in their natural state. So it could go either way. And also, you're going to notice that your body shifts a little when you start eating what's best for you, doing the exercise that's best for you, creating your environment to reflect what's natural for you. Your body's going to relax. And it's going to start letting go going on, and it's going to begin a before picture of your whole body. Take it in your exercise clothes so you can really see the difference. You are going to notice change through this. It's so amazing. And for Elizabeth, could be somewhere like Arizona. It could be somewhere valley area, not somewhere where you're living up in the mountains or where it rains a lot, that sort of thing. It'd be, there's a lot of sunshine and that sort of thing. Okay, the power hour. To know about their power hour. I'm curious if you're just dying to know what it means. And if you want some more feedback, our Facebook group, PH360.me, I'm sorry, PH360me Facebook group, and be sure to go there and you can just post it on Facebook, and we're going to give you all kinds of feedback about what that means for you. And it'll be fascinating for you too, because you'll get to see all the varying people's power hours. There's so many different ones. It's really fun. So for Elizabeth, her body's hormonal regulation and maximum cardiovascular function and muscles contraction may occur between 5 and 6 p.m. This may be an ideal time of day for her to do activities that engage her muscles, such as exercising, lifting weights, and stretching. Okay, so wow, this is amazing. Remember, we were just talking about that in the last version of fitness, but that was Angela's. Okay, so for Elizabeth, her power hour literally told her, okay, Elizabeth, if you really want to maximize your hormones, you want to maximize your heart, and you want to maximize your muscles and really make your exercise count, this is the time of day to do it, between 5 and 6 p.m. You know, that would be like you'd take a break, you'd go straight after work or go at 5 p.m. and exercise, and then you would be coming home after that and probably having dinner after you exercised. So, and be sure and, make sure you're drinking lots of water as you're doing this also. So that's really important. So I just, that is really amazing. Now, not everybody's has a time of day, and it would be probably here in the power hour or maybe in the fitness area. And if it doesn't, then choose a time of day that makes you happy. The time of day that you feel great exercising. It's all good. Okay, so that was awesome. Thank you so much, Angela, for giving us your profile. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the next person. I'm going to go back to the area and see if there's any questions. Okay, let's see. I am finally up. Next time you can write when the seminar is live. It will help me not to wait for no reason. Uh-oh, Elisa, I didn't get that. I'm sorry. Oh, Elizabeth travels to India quite often. Wow. Oh, see, that's the perfect place. That's everything combined, isn't it, Elizabeth? That's amazing. Wow, that's great. Hey, Gina, thanks for helping out and chatting for Elise. That's awesome. That's beautiful. Let's see. I don't see any other questions, but let's look and see in my email if I have another person who said, I want to be next, and we'll see who's there. Let's see. Support. Sorry, this is going to take me just a minute, you guys. I really apologize that I don't just have this. Okay, okay, got Elizabeth. Oh, Sharon. All right, Sharon, let's try this again. Okay, we're going to log out here and we're going to log back in for Sharon. And you guys, I just wanted to note that the time is 5:40, we're 45 minutes into it right now, and we are probably going to go a little long on this one. So if you can stay the whole time, that's fantastic. But if you can't, then I totally understand, and you can listen to the replay. The replay will be out sometime next week. So that's totally good. But I'd love to have you stay if you can. That'd be awesome. So here, let me get the rest of that. And we're going to take a look at Sharon's PH360, and we'll go into the next area and see, how do you incorporate this? It just seems like a bunch of blah, blah, blah. I've heard people say, wow, it looked like a horoscope or something. You guys, this is 100% your body sharing exactly what it needs to thrive. And so you really want to incorporate all the areas. And so we're going to go into social with Sharon. We might even do one more section with Sharon's, because social is a little more short, but we're going to go through that. Okay, so social interaction. Find the social interactions that nurture you. These are really important. So for Sharon, she might enjoy helping people, being of support, and sharing moments with others. I may also enjoy providing useful information to others and connecting to people in a helpful way. All right, so that is like a big indicator for Sharon. So if Sharon's natural state of being, her most natural state is that she enjoys helping people and being support and sharing moments with others. If Sharon were spending a lot of time alone, would that be good for her? No, of course not. That wouldn't be good at all. It would be crazy for her. In fact, it would cause so much stress for her body that it would create all these negative hormones and she might even begin feeling down because she needs people. That's really important for her. And so getting herself out, being support for others, sharing moments with others, if she, depending on what her situation is, if she were even if you were a person, like, I'm going to share this for other people too. Let's just say you were a person who felt like you needed to be homebound for some reason, like you don't have a car, or you were having trouble getting around or something. This is vital for you. Your body might even be shutting down because you're homebound. So getting yourself out, meaning calling people and saying, hey, can you come pick me up? Hey, can you come and take me somewhere? And really getting yourself out and making the effort, even if it's a little painful in the beginning, will make it worth it in the long run, because you will notice that as you begin sharing moments with others, and these could be moments that you have in your own home also. So you'd want to be inviting people over if you can't get out. That your body is going to start sending all of these amazing messages to the chemicals in your body and your brain, and everything's going to start working together and saying, wow, this is amazing. We're working together and we're interacting with these people and we're connecting. And especially sometimes as people get older, they feel like they can't help as much as they used to, but that is not real. The reality is that you can help so much. And so you've got to create situations for yourself. I heard this analogy where this person said, like, let's just say you were going to a party and you love chips. And so, you call the hostess and you're like, hey, are you going to have chips at this party? And the hostess says, well, okay. And then you're telling everybody, hey, somebody better bring some chips. We need chips at this party. I love chips. I need chips. Chips are important to me. And then, like, you're thinking all the time, you're having dreams about chips. They better bring some chips to that party. I hope that somebody brings chips, or they have chips at the party. And you just keep like fretting about all these chips. Well, hey, guess what? Who should bring the chips to the party? It's you. You're the one who's got to bring the chips to the party. If you love chips, if your body functions with chips, you better bring the chips to the party. So that means connecting with people in a helpful way. Okay? So that's great. Sharon, I hope you're loving this. I can't see your chat right now while I'm going through this, but hopefully you're just laughing because this is so funny. You want to spend more time, Sharon, with people where you can feel helpful, friendly, and trustworthy. If you are not experiencing these situations, you definitely want to get in them. These are even great suggestions for what you're doing in the world. Using your talents to really create relationships where you get to feel helpful. You could be tutoring. I've seen people tutoring others, people, going out and volunteering, a job where they get to be like me, where I get to help people all day long, and I love you guys so much, so it's really fun. And then that makes, that reflects on those same qualities. And so that's definitely important for you. If you have not been doing this, you definitely want to do it. Spend less time with, and I'm talking to all of you out there that may have something here. I can't see everybody's spending time with part, but whatever it says, it's vital for you. It's like vital. This is one of the most vital pieces of the entire PH360. It is not a generalized suggestion. It is specific for you. Very specific, based on layers and layers of factors that are factored into the algorithm in the program. So you definitely want to be completely connecting on this level. All right. And so here's what you want to spend less time with, Sharon. It says, I may be very open at times, even with strangers or new encounters, and might benefit from avoiding people who may take advantage of me. Because I might be naturally inclined to help others, I might not be aware of those around me who are only seeking their personal benefit. You know, I try not to worry too much about ones like that, but you got to be a little, if if that happens repeatedly to you, every time it occurs, every time that your trust is let down, it creates little marks in your body. Your body takes that on as something that it's dealing with. And if you're wanting to balance your body and be your absolute best self in the world, this would be something that you would eliminate. If you have it going and you're feeling this way, you have to start saying no. If that's how you're feeling, you definitely want to start saying no. If you're tired, or if you were noticing that one person over and over again and it wasn't going both ways, then you would just need to say no. And you know what? That's okay. You can, if you need help learning to say no, there's lots of people on the Facebook group that'll help you figure it out. So go on the Facebook group and tell them that you have trouble saying no if you do. Okay, my social nutshell. Outwardly, people may see me as tough, often driven and persevering. But if I have unresolved personal problems, I may manifest them in aggressive tendencies. Now, this is not bad. Some of you have suggestions in these areas that are so vital. And some people are like, that's not me. I'm not aggressive. And granted, maybe the language was a little harsh, but just take it on for a minute. Just like look and see, like, where could this be true? If it were true, where would it be true? Kind of say that question as you're going through this. And a lot of times when we first look at something, we're like, that's not me. And we just like block it out. And imagine if you blocked it out on one area, you might be blocking out the whole PH360. So what I would do in these areas, and what I've done actually, because I had some of these in mine, is I look at them and I say, okay, if that was true, how would it be true? And so, for instance, and then here's the thing. Once you actually get this, you really get the impact of what's happening to your body. Because, sometimes, like, let's go to the key sentence in this particular sentence, Sharon. Unresolved personal problems. Those would be places where there's something incomplete, where, someone might have hurt you, or someone might have taken advantage of you, or, somebody, you just got hurt somewhere. And so if these are like left unresolved, and you don't get to have a completion with that person, because in the long run, Sharon, you're the kind of person that wants to be like, you're just filled with love and you want to love this person. And so, you want to resolve these so that you can be your truest self. Because if you have a lot of unresolved stuff, then you're going to appear as tough, driven, and persevering, when in reality, you are helpful, supporting, you love sharing moments with others. These are the things that are most important to you, and connecting with people. And if there's a lot of hurt that's been done in the past, then you would want to complete these areas. Really getting that, the really putting the past in the past. If you're operating with all of that in your present, then it's hard to get past that. And so it's important to put the past into the past and be free and open in the present to express and explore what's happening right now in your life. All right? So, little fun love time there. Sorry, guys. Okay, well, let's go on to, let's see, I've got another person. Let me go back and see if there's any questions. And I'll go back to the dashboard, and then we'll go back to some questions and see if there's any questions in the box. Let's see. Okay, not a lot of questions. Okay, Simone asked, would PH360 be incorporating the genotype work of Peter Tiamano? I'm sorry, I said that wrong. D'Adamo. Thank you. You know, Simone, I don't know, honestly. I had someone ask that in the last one. It might have even been you, but I'm not sure. And so I don't know. I haven't studied that, and so I can't really comment on that. And although I was signed up for Hangouts before last Monday, I never got a link for it. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Of course there's a replay. And for those of you, if you don't get the link to register for your Hangout prior to the Hangout, be sure to contact support at ph360.me or go on the Facebook page. All of the events are in, every webinar is in the event area on our ph360.me Facebook page. All right, so you can definitely get it there. Hopefully that answered your question, Simone. Okay, so let's see. I'll look at my email and I'll see if there's anybody else who has volunteered for this next one. Oh, yes, there's Patricia. Okay, Patricia, we're going to go with you next. So we'll just get logged in here. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I'd love to hear, if this is helping you. Just put it in the chat box and let me know, if this is making a difference in how you've been looking at things, and how you're looking at your areas. And I mean, really, if you have not been looking at your areas, ask me anything. All of these other areas in your profile, if you just think they are not that important, be sure to, bring it up and let me know what you're thinking so that I can support you to have the most of you be present and have your natural self be completely amazing you. So let's see. Hey guys, you're still there, hopefully. I'm sorry. Wow, I just blipped out. Oh my goodness. Thank you for waiting if you did. That's amazing. We're just logging in to now to Patricia's. Let's see, did anybody make it? Oh yeah, there's still people here. Awesome. Okay, great. Thanks for waiting during that small bout of silence. You're awesome. Okay. Okay, one moment, and we're gonna log into Patricia's. Oh, I have to do it again. That'll just take me a sec. And let's see. Okay. This was great the way you sent this in, Patricia. It makes it really easy for me just to copy and paste and get that in so that we can get moving here. We're going to explore our next area, which will be really fun. Here we go. Okay, Patricia, we are in and we're on to the mind. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, the mind is so unbelievable, you guys. If you guys have not explored the mind area, this is going to give you so many little tidbits about you. And trust me, these are all individual. And so you might see a couple that you have that are the same as somebody else, but these are really, really individual. Okay, so Patricia, I may tend to have controlled emotions, allowing me to analyze unusual or unpleasant events and information with a good critical sense and without excessive emotion or personal participation. You know what would be really great in this instance is, Patricia, I'm hoping that you might be in this room. I would like to talk to you, actually, while we're doing this. I want to see if it's possible for us to get, I don't even know if this is possible, but I'm going to see, like, where I'm going to find you here. Patricia, where are you? And there's Simone a couple times. What happened, Simone? Oh, Patricia, are you not even here? Oh, there you are. Okay, I'm going to try. I don't know if this is possible, but I'm going to try to invite you into the room because I really want to talk back and forth with you. I want you to be able to ask questions about the mind because the mind is complicated. And so I'm going to bring you into the room. There's going to be a little box that's going to pop up and it's going to say, hey, you want to join this thing? And you're going to say, yeah, hopefully. Takes a minute, you guys. In the meantime, I will go back. Okay, yes, thank you so much, you guys, for waiting through that. Okay. Oh, Elise, while I'm just sitting here, if you are having trouble with the exercise area not showing the little boxes, if you can please try Chrome, Google Chrome. It works best with the site, and that might solve it. Now, if it doesn't solve it, be sure and send me a note at support@ph360.me, and we'll do our best to make that work for you, okay? So Patricia is not present here yet, so I don't know if it'll work. I'm not even sure, but I'm going to keep going and see if I can. I'll just go through this. Okay, so, and I may be naturally stimulated by brainstorming, creative challenges, and continual change. I may need to engage in lively activities in order not to feel bored by situations and tasks. Okay, so these are all just little indicators of Patricia and how her brain works. You know, her brain needs stimulation, it needs change, all of that sort of thing. And the execution of repetitive and schematic activities may not be ideal, and I may not be able to perform them well. Now, this is not saying that she is stupid or that she can't do these sorts of activities, or anybody can do anything they want. Of course they can. It's not saying you can't. It's saying it's not natural for you, and that doing these sorts of activities could cause stress in your body that's totally unnecessary, because you could be operating within what is natural for your body. And so if you're like, let's just say that in this case, Patricia, I'm going to check back in the room really quick. Hold on. Patricia might be a person who all the time she's always working in the Patricia, yeah, I'm not seeing you here. I guess that didn't work for some reason, but we'll figure it out eventually. So Patricia might be the kind of person who does this sort of thing and does it well. She could even do it well. She could have overcome and, you know, have endured this and gotten past it, and maybe she does, you know, things all the same all the time. But what I'm suggesting is that for her to be in her natural state, she would not be doing this. And so if you are a person, like in your mind, if you're disagreeing with everything again, just try it on. Just see what it says. Just see. Okay, so let's just say you're doing all that. Well, what if you didn't for a day and you did something different? What would happen? Or, you know, and how would you be able to get out of doing these sort of things? Well, if it's something you're doing at home, you can just change your mind and change it. If it's something that you have to do at work, then what you could do is you could talk to your boss, and you could start noticing, where are you the most happy? Where do you feel the most joy? Where are you feeling passion? Because when you are operating in your mind and your career, which is really your natural talents, you are going to be feeling a natural joy is going to start coming back into your life, and you're going to feel more alive because your body is so excited that there's not all this stress going on doing things that are not natural. All right. So I may prefer things to be plain simple. Probably nobody likes to hear that. They're like, I'm not frugal, but just take these as a grain. I may be rebellious, persistent, and direct, and could be self-confirming. Now, I would love to hear you telling me if these are true, Patricia. And then if you were saying, no, that's not me, then we could have a little discussion about like ways that it might possibly be you. And so it's just so much fun, you guys. You know, this is probably the area where the mind area is the one where people disagree the most. And partly it's because some of them are not, they don't understand what they mean. And then partly it's because we've got these ingrained ways of being. Just think about it. You've been impacted by your childhood, by the environment in your childhood, by the teachers that you've been with, by the friends that you grew up with, by the friends you have now, by your workplace, by your work colleagues, by the environmental toxins that you've been exposed to, by, you know, your living situation, by your money situation. You know, you've got all these outside influences, and it's possible that you might not be your fullest sense of you currently. It's possible. And so we're just what ifing. I mean, what if? It's just kind of a fun way to look at it. Okay, I may be creative and imaginative and most functional when I'm in a creative phase. I may benefit from creative activity and lateral thinking or thinking outside of the box. So for Patricia, if she's not doing that, this would be something vital to incorporate. When she starts thinking creatively and imaginatively and gets into a creative phase, which could be anything. It could be reading, it could be drawing, it could be putting a puzzle together, it could be playing. I mean, it could be anything, something that gets her thinking outside of the box. It could be doing puzzles, it could be doing Sudoku. I mean, whatever it is that makes her feel excited and happy, that's what it is. And even if you don't feel excited and happy, start trying things to discover what's here. What could this be? When she's using this part of her brain, her body will be like doing a hallelujah and jumping up and down, and all of her cells, she's got trillions of cells in her body, and they're all going to start cheering because she's operating in her real self. And if she hasn't been rebellious lately, I highly suggest, Patricia, that you get out and do something rebellious. I think that'd be really fun. The way I feel about myself might be highly influenced several functions of my body, including circulation and digestion. Okay, guys, this is vital. This is so important. And some of you have not even been able to, some of you haven't even been able to read this, you haven't even been through the mind. Look at this. Okay, this is amazing. The way I feel about myself may highly influence several functions of my body, including circulation and digestion. Although being sensitive to other people's emotions is a great empathic attribute, negative empathy might have a toll on me. Okay, how could this show up in your life? Wow, are you around people who complain all the time, or are you in a situation where somebody's constantly upset with you, or where, you're having to feel upset about something? All of this it says right here, if you're having problems with your digestion and your circulation, this is a contributing factor. And if you're in this situation and you don't solve it, potentially in the future, this could occur. You could have a digestion or circulation problem. And here's what's funny, you guys. Some people don't even realize that they're actually experiencing these things. And so really getting out there and like shifting things like this, especially this, when you see something that's pertaining to your body, it's really important. I might tend to establish a clear strategy for a process in which I'm involved, the progress of a project, for example, and figure out a series of next steps. So, likes to make a plan. That's awesome, Patricia. And if you're not planning and you're just being the victim of the plan, I'll call it, or, being the receiver of the plan, well, your body would love it if you had a plan. That you got to kind of figure these sorts of things out. If you're with a really awesome planner, then you might feel safe enough that it's all good because that person is planning great. But if you're with someone who doesn't create a good plan, but you're subject to the plan, egads, how can you figure out how to get in charge of that plan so that you can make the plan happen? We'll do one more, and then we're going to move on to career. I may have a tendency to have higher progesterone conversion, which makes me more aware of people's opinions about me. Okay, when you see one like this, I've had questions about the higher progesterone conversion. Someone actually inquired about this. It isn't so much about the higher progesterone conversion. That's just what's happening. You are converting higher progesterone levels. And sometimes because of that, you might be more aware of people's opinions about you. And so if you know that it's just part of your body, now you can start looking at when people have an opinion about you, that a lot of times what you're considering to be an opinion about you isn't really about you. If you inquired into what's going on in their life and really just took it as, that it's just something that they're experiencing, you would start to notice that they were just experiencing their own thing and it really didn't maybe even have anything to do with you. So that might be a cool thing for you to be playing with. Sometimes I might internalize to the point of being disconnected with the real world. This tendency may also be what makes me great at visualizing. And and imagining. Okay, so you might be a person who zones out sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just part of who you are. And so when people are like, hey, Earth to Patricia, Earth to Patricia, then you can just laugh and say, hey, this is my visualization and imagining time, because that's what makes you great at visualizing and imagining. And if you haven't been doing that, then incorporate some zone out time where you just zone out. Maybe you do some meditation or something where you are getting able to connect with your own self and internalize that. Sometimes you can even do open eye meditations just sitting out in nature. That's really fun too. Just whatever floats your boat. Okay, here we have, I may have a conscientious and sensitive character and a strong sense of responsibility. I might process strong mental capacities for memorization and mental processing. Okay, if this is dulled in you, like let's just say you look at this and you think, wow, I can't memorize anything anymore, or you think that your memory is going because of your aging, let's wonder about this possibility. What if your body is shutting down because it's under stress, because you're not, living the way that your body's intended, you're not eating the way your body's intended, you're not exercising the way your body's intending, whatever that is. And maybe that's just shutting down your mental capacity. And so as soon as you begin to acknowledge what's going on with you, and here she says she has a conscientious and sensitive character with a strong sense of responsibility. So if she's had to be in a role where she's had to be stern, or she's had to, kind of rule the roost in some way, this would be not natural for her. She would want to be able to explore her sensitive side and be able to, still be responsible, but also be allowing for this imaginary. And we'll talk about it. Sometimes it takes us a little bit of time. If we don't understand exactly what it is right up front, we might have to have a little discussion about it with our teammates. And so if we do that, then that means if we leave your question sitting, it means we're coming. And so don't fret, okay? No fretting on Facebook. Facebook is a place that's intended for people to support each other and to get your questions answered and to really be fun. And so if you're feeling frettable, then send a note to support. That's how we'd like you to do it. Keep the Facebook group just a really positive experience for everybody and lots of fun. And if you know the answer to somebody else's question because you've seen it twice, be sure and post it. Just post it. We love you guys. We are so awesome helping us. It's amazing. And so if you have a Freddy question, be sure to send it to support@ph360.me and we will help you. Sometimes we still have to go get the answer, even we do. So, if it takes a couple days, it's okay. All right, I may prefer to have new information and data presented in a progressive manner following some order. So like willy-nilly, just all over the place, that just doesn't work for you. So if you're constantly having someone influx that to you, it won't be good for your body and progressive matter and a little bit of this real world, zone out, and create some awesome visualization and imagining. Wow, Patricia, so awesome. You've got all kinds of awesome stuff going there. Hopefully that helped. And I'm going to go back to the dashboard and log out, and then I'm going to get the next person and we'll explore career. How's that for fun? Let's see, who is here? Irita, we're going to go with you next. Awesome. Let's see. Hopefully you sent me, I think this is right. Okay. We're going to log in and do the career area. And I'm going to take a quick look at questions just to make sure you guys are up and everything's going good. Let's make sure this logs in. Whoop. Oops. Okay, so something you sent me, Arita, isn't going to let that work. And so I'm going to see who's next. Uh-oh, I don't have anybody else. Is there anybody else? Ah, that's great. Hey, Patricia just sent me an email and she said that she couldn't comment on the chat. We're working on that, you guys. Hopefully this is going to be fixed next week. Yes, most of the things are very true. Wow, that's awesome, Patricia. Thank you. And she said she's happiest being an artist, and that's wonderful. Wow, awesome, Patricia. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love it. Um, let's see. I wonder who else. You know what? We're just gonna, I guess we're gonna not, let's see. Who are we going to go with on this career deal here? Let's see. I think what I'll do is log into mine since nobody else volunteered. Oh, wait, let me check really quick the chat. Maybe there's a volunteer in chat. Nope, not a volunteer in chat. Are you, let's see, back. Okay, nope. Okay, so I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to put my profile up there and we will see what's going on for Jules. Let's see how it applies with what's happening in my life. Okay, and then we are going to continue. Okay, so career-wise, this is our last one, you guys. We're going to probably be done in just 10 minutes. And so thank you so much for going on. This is kind of a long one because there's so much gold in your profile. Okay, so this will be fun. I guess a little telling, hopefully. Not too embarrassing, but we'll go with it. Okay, so for my career, I have a rich and a vivid imagination. It helps me find solutions to problems and generate creative ideas. I may also need some flexibility in my schedule, work environment, work methods, as I may bulk under rigidly imposed obligations. Yet I may be challenged and by having too much flexibility, as I might be easily influenced and lack resilience and direction. And as a result, a balanced set of guidelines may help me thrive in my work. Wow, that's like a whole mouthful, isn't it? Well, let's just kind of break that up. For one, yes, I am an idea person. I have amazing ideas. And if I did not have people surrounding me who know how to put those ideas into practice, like for instance, Hangouts with Jules. I mean, this was a great idea. I came up with this idea. I said, oh my gosh, I have so many people asking the same questions. Let's do Hangouts with Jules. It'll be so fun. And we can answer all their questions together. And people will get to, go through this. It'll be fun. And that's then the next thing I know, it was like a day later, all of a sudden there's an email that went out to the entire database and everybody is getting invited to Hangouts with Jules. And now I've got the schedule for 6 weeks of Hangouts with Jules. And I didn't do anything to make that happen. And if it had been up to me, it would still be a great idea that I had. I wouldn't be in there. I wouldn't have been able to create that. And so I had somebody else in my life who is a different kind of biotype than me, and they supported me and created it for me. Okay. And this flexibility in my schedule, I love what I'm doing now. I get to work all different hours. I can work from anywhere in the world. I get to talk to you guys from all different locations. I'm currently in Boise, Idaho. We just finished the coaches training here. And so I'm currently in Boise, Idaho. And I love this. So this is really good. And that's right. I can be challenged by having too much flexibility. If nobody is setting any guidelines or giving me a little direction, then I could get a little loose there, guys. That's true. Okay, so this one says that I may tend to avoid heavy tasks involving machinery, tools, and repetitive manual labor. Yes, that is really true. You will not see me volunteering for any jobs like that. I love to cook. I'm going to cook all day long. But when it comes to those kind of hefty, like heave-ho kinds of things, or if it's redundant or it keeps going around in a circle and I have to, keep doing the same thing over and over, that's not me. And so, I wouldn't be good in this sort of a job. And let's look at career. Okay, so career kind of signifies it's a job, but let's also look at career as our talents, because not everybody has a job. And not everybody cares about a career. So just apply my talents to that. Okay, so here, this one says, when I'm in a good space and mentally balanced, I will notice that I have a capacity in connecting people, teaching, communicating, or providing information. And I may already be doing this, but if I'm not, it could be worth looking into at this hidden talent of mine. This is great because, I have a little bit of, I went through when I saw this, and I had a little bit of like, I thought I could do that, but then I just wasn't. And I was scared to do it. And I thought this could be a hidden talent, something where I get to connect people, to teach people. And I love providing this information for you guys. And it's so much fun. And it's scary sometimes, like for me, because now I'm on this webinar and here I'm like talking into my little microphone and I'm talking to people I can't even see or get any feedback from. And I'm a people person. And so I'm doing my best to like imagine you all in front of me and we're connecting on that level. So it's really fun to do this. And so I am definitely, that is true. And if I'm not in a good space, it doesn't work out very well. That is really true. And so keeping my body balanced and being in my flow and making sure that I'm in the places and with the people that really make my body thrive, that's what keeps me in a good space and mentally balanced. My food is important, but my place, my social, and what I'm doing every day are even more important. So everybody's different. Okay, so I may value sharing experiences, helping people, being involved in human and social affairs. Well, you guys, I don't know, could this get any better for me? And feeling helpful and supportive. Hopefully some of you have experienced me as helpful and supportive and support, and probably sometimes a little overwhelmed. And I just love you guys so much. And thank you so much for just putting up with sometimes a little delay. Every once in a while, I even lose somebody's email for a while and I don't see it. And so I come back to it. So thank you so much. When I do help you, I am 100% going the mile for you. And so that's the kind of person that I am, and that's how this is. I may enjoy any job that allows me to interact with people, teach, support, and connect with others. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, I'm pretty much in my right space, I'd say, right, guys? I may thrive in a career that I consider fun and not loaded with stress and responsibility. We're all different. And some people would think that support was stressful. And sometimes it is a little bit stressful when there's a lot of emails and I'm trying to get through them. It is a little bit stressful. But most of the time, it's totally fun. Now, I have another workmate, and what she's working on all the time are writing. She's writing these documents, she's writing emails, she's doing all this stuff. Oh my goodness, if I had to do that, I would be so stressed out of my mind. I mean, this would be crazy. If I would just be not getting it done. And so it's so much better when people just put me in front of people and I need to talk to them. That is way easier. And you guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but when I'm responding to you in support, a lot of times I'm talking your answers. You probably think like, wow, it sounds like she's talking to me. Well, guess what? I am. I'm using dictation and talking to you because I love talking and sharing. So that's really great. Okay, so let's go to the second page and see what else might be going on for Jules. Let's see. Okay, I may enjoy collaborating, working in teams, and sharing information. Well, this is just like overwhelming, isn't it? It's just so Jules. What can I say? I may tend to do many things at once and try managing many undertakings at a time, but I will likely benefit from balancing moments of focus with periods of social activity and joyful relaxation. Okay, now here's an area where I could be doing better, for sure. You guys, it's saying this really nice, but what this is actually saying is that if I balance too many things at once and I try to balance too many undertakings, I'm not going to do well. Now, so if you can imagine when I wake up in the morning and there are 100 emails in support and I'm trying to remember everything about all those things, that would be something that could create, stress. And so what I would benefit from is balancing those moments of focus with periods of social activity and joyful relaxation. And I'm telling you honestly, I love what I do and I love connecting with you guys and it is fun. But I am not doing this. And I think I would be better at my job and being able to provide more support for you and be more timely and be making sure that everything's happening just the way it should if I spent a couple hours focusing on these little pieces going through, I open an email and I complete the task. I open an email, I complete the task. And I'm doing these, and then I should stop, close my computer, and go outside and get some sunshine, which is one of my place ingredients. And, and put my feet on the grass and feel the earth and let myself breathe some air and do some bend overs and, a couple yoga poses or something, or maybe some Tai Chi, or, even just jumping up and down like I could dance. I mean, whatever it is that would give me this kind of feel, or I could make a phone call to a friend or something like that. So this is not something I'm doing right now. I'm focusing 100% on what I'm doing. And so this would definitely be something I benefit. And, just because you're all listening, I'm going to promise that I'm going to do this. I'm going to start incorporating, even if it's just for 5 minutes, I'm going to start incorporating joyful relaxation into this area, because if I don't, my body is creating stress. If my body's creating stress, that means that ultimately I will start to feel not so good. It will begin creating something in my body that isn't going to be balanced and won't be something I want. And so that's why this is really important to do. And so I'm going to commit to doing it. Oh yeah, this is the same one. Okay, I might do best to establish a clear career path, as I may not like to leave things up to chance. I may be patient, but I need to know that my everyday actions, studies, and investments will help me succeed. So this is really true for me. It's so true for me because when I am working, I want to know that what I'm doing is making a difference. It's really important to me. If I'm just doing like part of a project, or I was in a big corporation and there were it was all this red tape and, this corporate doctrine, and, you do this little tiny part of the project and you never even know if it gets done. I could never do that, because I need to know that whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm studying, whatever investments I'm making in people, that I'm going to be making a difference. That's what makes me thrive. And so that's my career for sure. And let's see. Because I may have a natural resistance to intense peaks of adrenaline, I might have a strong capacity to maintain mental and physical alertness. This makes me reliable and hardworking. Without this, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing, for sure. I mean, I'm working a lot right now and making sure that everything's good and that you guys are good. And so that would be really important, and it's so important to me. And so, basically what this is saying is that I can work reliably, hardworking, and I can maintain my mental and physical alertness because my body naturally pushes down the adrenaline so that it's not just like going into high adrenaline. How that would interpret would be that for someone else doing what I'm doing, they might shift into like some kind of crazy, fast moving, adrenaline driven thing. They might even be drinking coffee, who knows, trying to keep it all up. But in my case, I'm like operating in a natural flow. I am already a hard worker, and I maintain my physical and mental alertness, and but I need those breaks. I really need those breaks, you guys. And if you saw the rest of my profile, you'd see that that's so vital for me. And so anyways, that's really fun. Well, you guys, I have now taken 90 minutes of your time. Anybody who hung out all the way to the end, I just want to say thank you so much. You're so amazing. And I'm going to go back to the chat room and see if there's anybody else who wants to ask any questions, just in case there is. We're going to have one more hangout. It's going to be this Wednesday. It's going to be at 2 o'clock Pacific time. So that is Pacific Daylight Time. And we're going to be covering like, how do we incorporate this into our entire life? Now, you guys, this is so vital for questions to come in for this. I really need some questions because I want to know, what do you want to know? So here's how you can help me with this. I would like everybody to, everybody who is going to be there live, If you're listening to this as a replay, then you wouldn't be doing this. But everybody live who's going to be there, I want you to send me emails to support@ph360.me. In the subject header, I want you to say questions for Hangouts number 5. Questions for Hangouts number 5. And if you mess that up, it's okay. Don't worry. But I'm still going to get it. But I want you guys to send me your questions. Like questions, these are the kind of questions I'm looking for. Like if you've been like, I don't even know how to incorporate this into my life. I don't want to get food questions because Daniela and Matt are answering food questions in 4 different webinars on Tuesdays. They're doing that already for you. But I want to know, like if you have a question about social or career or place or fitness, or how do you incorporate this into your life? How do you start living it? Like, or why would it make a difference? You know, if you've got one where you think like, that's stupid, I don't know why I'd have to do that. Let's talk about it. So I need usernames and passwords and your questions. Okay, so this is going to be really important and I love getting these. It's really fun. So anyways, you guys, I just want to tell you again how much we love you, how much we appreciate you. You guys are awesome. Without you, we wouldn't be here. And we are on a mission to make a difference in health around the planet, that we want to eliminate disease and pain on the planet. And that is a huge mission. And you are all part of it. And we appreciate you being here so much. So thank you for being awesome. And we'll look forward to seeing you this Wednesday. Take care. Have an awesome 2 days. And post on Facebook how you're incorporating everything we talked about today in your own profile. How are you incorporating place? How are you incorporating social? How are you incorporating career? It's so much fun to see. So, and even if you don't have Facebook, you guys, send me a note and let me know how you're incorporating it. I want to hear. Okay? All right. We love you and take care and have an amazing 2 days. We'll talk to you soon.